director of programs there. So there's a black role model in our community. Wasn't too many of them. All right. And me, I was a little different because I wasn't hooping. A lot of the guys got support, even from the drug dealers. Like the drug dealers, they give you like, if you a good hooper, they, just because they like the sport, they, they want to see you make it. You can get any shoes, anything. Like my brother, my older brother, even Keyshawn, even my younger brother, they would get money easily from just people on the streets, just because they knew they had that opportunity, or that talent to make it big, but they fell short. All right? And then all that fame is gone when they fall short. After high school, they go to college and they don't make it. So what saved me was I had the opportunity to see colleges. Education is going to be the key to a lot of your successes in here. You have to focus in the classroom, in school. Because if you don't get that, it's going to be so hard. And you're going to be mentally and physically stuck. Alright, so I took education and ran with it. So the sophomore year, things started changing. I got involved. I became like an advocate in school. I was like the black person, student council president. Okay, even though I wasn't on student council, I represented a lot of black people in school. Alright, I had a voice. I was a hype man though. I used to DJ, so I'm always crunk. When you come to my classroom, I'm probably dancing every other day, just crunk about something. Alright, that's just how I am. I'm always crunk. So I used to DJ. I started buying DJ equipment. I got it to this day, like these mixers, and I just started investing. I started working, and that's what it was. And from there, I stayed focused. I stayed on track. Junior year, got involved, started taking the ACT. Senior year, but peer pressures came through. 2005, my junior year of high school, there's a lot of shooting, gun violence. We talked about in class, she showed the other day, a lot of y'all at the mall, but she mentioned, and I said, y'all, we run at fights. That's natural. I did it all the time. I used to probably even instigate a few. All right? We run if it's entertainment. It's kind of what we see when we grow up at, Fights, they about to fight. So see what's up. Y'all do that now. By the cafeteria, y'all come through the door in the buses. Y'all just waiting. I can tell how y'all walking in. Y'all be waiting for somebody to fight. Alright, that's natural. But the fights, it's going to turn into shooting. And that's what started happening in our community around sophomore, junior year of high school. It wasn't no more fist fights. It started becoming guns. The girls started fighting with padlocks and mace. Girls used to walk around, no lie, with padlocks, like 5 of them connected. Boom! It was just over. Like just take it out, get the lock. They would lock them up together and have them waiting for some girl to run up. We used to tear up the hallway at the high school. We used to tear it up, fighting. It made us look horrible though. As a person of color, especially because it was mostly us. You never see our white friends just going around fighting. It was all the black people. We'd have our hallway. We'd say, this is the black hallway, basically, where all the black people stood at. And every other day was a fight. You had to start thinking about, wait, why are we fighting like this? Like, what was that about? Little stuff. And the guys, they fights turned into shootouts. All right, 2005, probably like 2 of my classmates were killed. It was a triple homicide. 3 people got murdered that I knew. And where we from, everybody knew each other. So it was like, wait, my dearest got killed. Like, we was going to funerals, like, every month in the summer. Like, hold on, this ain't supposed to be, this ain't right. Like, why are we going to funerals? We just buried Darius. Just sat next to me, like, dude, gone. Cousin, my homie, and my cousins, we was like this. Oh, man, he got this shoes, I got that. But we lived 2 totally different lives, though. Now we do, especially now we do. My cousin, he started getting right into the gang stuff. And I was, like, kind of behind him, in a way. I was behind, like, I went into it, because I was a student. I knew what was up in my head, but, I was around, it's my blood. He fighting, I'm fighting. That's how I felt. He fighting, I'm throwing him too. So my cousin, it started getting into drugs, into guns. Like my cousin, we drive, you have a gun in this pocket. I'm like, hold on. You gotta go. I had to really finally get the courage. So he got to go. Like with these guns and stuff, he carry guns around me. We was running one day from a fight. So now we running from a fight versus running to the fight, because we know the fight go turn into shootouts. So it's like junior year of high school, we running from a fight. Cuz turned around, I never even forget this image. And he just like did this whole like had a gun one like this, and I went. And after that day, I was like, I can't fool with my own cuz I cannot be around him, cause he was mentally gone to the streets. Pulled out a gun, like it's the craziest moment ever. And I used to throw parties though, and the thing with me, my aunt used to say, honey, and she talked like this. She's like, you always attract the violence. Everybody came to my parties, so it'd be north side versus south side. My parties ended at 11, about 10:50, 10:53. About 3 fights break up. A star fight. Everybody 3 fights break up, all over the party break out. Right before the party ended, people get maced, bottles. Oh, look, I got a little scar right here. I got hit one time trying to break my cousin, trying to help him. I just ain't got hit. Laid down, knocked down my speakers. I think of those images and I go, what the hell was we thinking about? Like, we were so young and dumb. And another moment in high school, talking about peer pressure, I bought like an ounce of weed. Alright, and I needed to get my driver's license. Alright, so I had like a good motive behind it. But it was wrong, right? And I started thinking about Pops, because my dad went to jail for selling drugs. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't sell this weed. Like, this ain't me. I remember buying it and I gave it away. I started giving it away. Because I didn't want to sell it. I started thinking about it at night, like, I can't, if I get caught, it's over. You know, my record's damaged, my reputation is damaged, my opportunities, doors gonna close. I remember giving away the weed. I can't do this. This ain't me. This ain't for me. Alright? So in high school, you're going to experience peer pressure everywhere. You guys have to be ready. We're going to learn, though. And Big B said, you're going to learn. You're going to fall on your butt. But please learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Be around good people. Stay around positive people. Get a mentor. We talk about that a lot. A guest speaker who came. You guys were in there with the guest speakers. They said, get a mentor. Get somebody you can say, hey, I need help with this, or I want to do this. Because if you don't, you're more likely going to slick into the wrong crowd. You're going to slide into the wrong crowd. All right? Why do I have to be successful? I pointed to you. You guys motivate me. My life purpose is to motivate people on different platforms. That's my life purpose. I feel like I've been through a lot, and we all go through things, but I've been able to get out. And when I go home, the life I live here is just totally different at home. Everybody in my family live different lives. It's so different. It's extremely different. It's funny sometimes. It is. It's totally different. The way we live our lives. Okay. Now, some people in my family have to go get shots in their arm, take the donate plasma to survive. You know, they get money, you know, on a weekly basis, and the whole welfare system. You don't want to live in that forever. All right, I'm able to travel. I'm able to do things. I'm able to see different things, and I had the opportunity to attend. Went to the inauguration. President Barack Obama. I actually went to the first inauguration too, but this time I had the opportunity to like kind of be there at the Capitol, and things like that. That's things from where I'm from. People just don't do that. You know, they don't have the opportunity, the resources, or the knowledge, or to do things like that. All right, they still think everything in the neighborhood is just that is what it is. That's the world. That's the world to them. All right, you guys have any questions about anything?
What race was a police officer when you thought you were?
It was white. It was 2 white officers. It was funny. It was Officer Morelli and his son. It was his junior with me in high school, and I went back to school. I remember I was always boisterous, and I talked about it in art class. And Mario was like, "That was my dad." And I was like, oh, "My bad, I talked about your dad, but that was effed up." Like, you
you're not that person, or
When I
getting
met,
out of that trouble.
I met a couple people. My freshman year in high school was this girl. Her name was Tiny Higginbottom, and she noticed I was in college prep courses, advanced classes. I was in geometry as a freshman. I was in like college prep English, all advanced classes. We had the same study hall. She was a senior, and she was like, "You different." And I had the white classes per se. I was in class with all the white people. So right there, I knew I was different from all my black counterpart, all my black friends. And so the teachers, and like Latanya and Mr. Q, they said, "Melvin, stay focused." They said, "Stay focused, you're going somewhere." I was different. I was even entrepreneurship behind my DJ business. I DJ for the city of Racine. The mayor shouted me out. This all in high school. The mayor shouted me out in his speech. I would make a lot of money. I do different things. And so that's why I knew it was different. There's something about my life that was different than everybody else. And real quick, I'm going to allude to my brothers. Could you go back to the first slide? My brothers look, Keyshawn, you met my brother. Look how different we look. Not only the skin color, they dark skin, they look more like my dad, but we look different. Same mom and same dad. And every time I introduce my brothers to people, they go, "That ain't your brother." Like, my brothers. So I knew I was even different from my siblings. We came from the same, mom and dad. But I was just different. Not on the outside, but how I act, how we interact, and everything.
It almost seems like I like seeing the one in the yellow before.
Girl, he kind of look like Meek Mill. This one, I call him Lil T-Pain. And I'm Yeezy.
Did your brothers get raised by your aunts?
No. So that's interesting. So we didn't get raised really in the same way. So my older brother, my cousin, actually, he lived with my cousin. I'd say he had a little harder. He did too. I don't know. We all kind of have different stories. But he moved in with my cousin. He's like 11 years old, my older brother. And so he was really into the streets. Like, he really, he hustled. He had that talent. People today were like, he was just cold. One of the best shooting guards or forwards at the time in the country. He was going to Vegas. He was playing in all kinds of leagues. But he didn't have, I think, that positive influence, that role model to guide him, that discipline. We talked about discipline. Dad wasn't there to discipline him. Yeah, I think he understands that. Now, today, these guys are good. I love them. We have a good relationship. They kind of get life, but they still a little stuck. They stuck with some things. Well, my older brother's raised with my cousin, to answer your question. And then my younger brother kind of went back and forth between mom crib. He stayed with his best friend for a little bit. So between those two. Yeah, between my best friend house and my mom crib.
What was your influence?
What was my influence?
Biggest influence?
Probably my aunt. She was a nurse. She was successful, a teacher. Really growing up a little bit in the church too. My grandparents, that kind of like gave me some hope. And my influence right now today is people like him, Oprah. That's why I see myself going. Keyshawn, what I want to own? What I want to have? My own what? What kind of business though?
Hold up, I'm asking you. I know what it is, but
I know you don't.
I do.
I'm gonna have my own talk show one day. So I look up to people like that, 'cause that's where I want to go, right? So if you want to go somewhere, you want to get yourself around those people, or figure out how those people made it, and they go that way, they go that route. Somebody else had a question. What's up?
So what did the cops after they pulled you over, could we found anything, everything, what did they do?
Oh, they let us go. They had no choice. They let us go. What did they say? I don't really remember what they said. I just said go on. We went up to the high school. I was mad. And then I ended up going to the police station and kind of reporting them. It didn't happen. But, so that was just that moment right there. And so it's been those traumatic situations. I have another one, my boy, he played high school as a senior in high school. Remember I told you, he started turning from fists to guns. And he got shot. His name's Adrian. He just graduated from Tennessee State. And actually, we went on the college tour back in October, and we flew from Ben Davis to Tennessee State. And Adrian gave the tour. And we brought up that moment. Adrian was shot like in the leg. He was a basketball player. And I remember we was running. They started shooting. They usually was shooting in the air though, but then they started pointing at people. They was shooting. And Adrian got shot. And I remember turning around. I saw him on the ground. I went back over. I just took off my shirt, put my shirt around his wound. You know, I just sat there with him. So the police got there, so the ambulance got there. So in those moments, you know, that you remember, it's like wow, like you know, you saw all that stuff. I mean, my dad's house got raided. We'd go back. So y'all know what that is, raided. Police come in, yeah. So and I remember going back. Now my older brother, he been through a raid, like in the house and everything, guns. I always saw the after effects, like going back and we have to go get stuff or pick up things and, you know, try to figure out what all was happening. But anything else?
How's the dude got shot in the leg? What's he doing now?
He's doing now, he works for, I think, Walmart. He works in a corporation of Walmart. So not even at the store, he works like in the business side of it. So he graduated from college. He's in Nashville, Tennessee. He's doing well for himself. And again, he had some role models. He was a good person. So he wasn't even in gangs. Oh, my bad. He wasn't in gangs or anything. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Wrong place at the wrong time. What's up?
Is your aunt like still alive? Is your aunt still alive?
Yes, yes. Talked to her last night. So yeah, my aunt, we tight, and she's everything to me. You know, she's a teacher. She teaches out of college. She teaches nursing classes. So. What's up? Go ahead.
He ain't had no, he was just being funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
They look sleepy.
I know that they are right.
I thought he was I feel on fire.
They're ready to hold.
One time. Oh yeah, bro, after we done, we having that relay. Remember we about to have a relay right now.
Yeah, they take the mattresses. Yeah, they take the mattresses and cut them up.
What? The whole squad.
And they told me everything.
You about to hoop in this? Oh, you about to play soccer? Hey, we call full court. Man, I can't even fall out of here.
Hey, y'all, anybody want pizza?
After hooping?
Let's do the relay. So you
Yeah.
see that house?
I wasn't there because it was school. And when I came back, I just saw like the window was cracked. I think they fired a gun.
I got a rubber bullet or something through it.
Always good, bro. Always good.
Hey, ready.
I ain't gonna make it through the night.
Thank you for sharing that.